Hello, and we are back to carry on with Inspire Wellness, the sound of music, part 3. Wellness is not about chemistry. Wellness is not about a quick fix. It's not a chemical solution, but a way of living your life with the end in mind. And making life choices is a sensitive topic and can influence all dimensions of your body, of your mind, of your spirit. Can you design your life? Can you reinvent yourself to achieve your highest well being level available to you right now? If you have a dream, if you want to empower everyday people to make a significant difference into the world, is not something you can dismiss. You have to go for it. If you have a dream, you have to dream it awake. I have the privilege of interviewing today Rita Galubova, award-winning author of the book The Piano Teacher, My Journey into the American Dream, founder of The Sound of Music, and the president of the Academy of Significance Russia. She is here sharing her passion, sharing her story to inspire you to be more. Today's guest, Rita Galubova, is planting the seeds of wellness into your soul. Inspiring wellness is her commitment to constant excellence. I believe that Rita is here on earth to help others find their light in the dark, and not to make them feel lost, but to help them feel found. Rita feels truly blessed when she helps somebody else find the light in the dark and have the chance to share the sound of music. Welcome to the show, Rita. Thank you so much for your energy, for your beautiful soul, and for you being part of this experience.
Marina,
I believe that so far we cover a few topics. We talk about your journey from Russia into America, how you started your American dream, and it's been a struggle. It was not easy, but it was worth it. So, what gives you the strength? Because I believe today we are going to talk about your strength and the fact that you've been through so much in your life that is nothing that can stop you now from your mission of helping others.
thank you, Marina. I realized right now, I listen to you and I keep smiling, and that's like smiling to the empty screen on my, you know, uh, just smiling inside myself. So it's once again, it's always pleasure to hear your, so your energy, your voice, and of course, strength. That's something what keeps us all going. Like, so the life without strength is miserable. And I kept thinking, so what, when you brought this topic about being strong, I'm thinking now, so that actually, we are not born to be strong. If we look at the life cycle, so we are born with a lot of freedom. When you're a baby, uh, you have the most freedom you want. You can do whatever you want. Nobody will stop you, but you're just, limited on yourself. But then when you grow up, so you can do much more, but there is a limitation coming. And then at the end of the life, how it comes, you are not strong enough, so your level of energy is going away. So, and us, like, being strong, you gotta train your muscle on that to be, to have that strength, not just physical strength, but your mindset strength, your emotional strength. And what I'm remembering right now, like my decision when I thought my life is perfect. Like I graduated uh, two colleges at that time. And if you remember, like when I was in my music college, I got married. In Russia, you get married early, So I got married when I was 19. And on the last year of my music college, since I was married already, and I was told you cannot go out of the town for your master degree, so choose something in your hometown where I lived with my family. So I entered in a pedagogical college in psychology and methods of primary education. And after 3 years being in that college, I realized that, yeah, that's something super cool. It gives me a bigger salary and gives me first a knowledge of psychology of the children and a lot of knowledge in methods of teaching young kids. But it doesn't give me same knowledge in how to teach the music, and just like so to get my master degree in music major. And I decided to try with the tricky way of getting the documents and placing my documents to the from music college to the Moscow pedagogical college, Moscow music pedagogical college. So not a college, institute. And I got accepted. That's once again proves when you are not as like greedy on getting something, but you do this with the lightness, with the uh, yeah, you can get it, and like you're not dying for that, but you go with the confidence. You always get that. So that's how like I was accepted in Moscow Music Institute. And then I became in front of the two like challenges. Like now I don't want to quit because I'm a strong person, so I'm not a quitter in myself. I don't want to quit my pedagogical college, and here I'm accepted in the music one. So obviously I decide to continue both, and just speed up as much as I can in my pedagogical college. So over all this called struggle, so that, but struggle in a good way of struggle with my time management, struggle with my uh, with my day planning, struggle with finding enough time for everybody, as like my job, what I loved at my boarding school with my little criminals who I loved to death, so and with my loved son who I had when I was 20, and that's my family. And also with my career, like with my studying in pedagogical college finalizing. So finding that time to catch up with everything. So that was the main, I'll say, struggle. And that was more like a physical struggle to physically find the time to do things I must to do to proceed in certain areas of my life at that time. And so all this gives you like a physical like tiredness, like you feel tired physically. And now, like looking back at that time, I understand that this physical how to say that, Marina, help you, like exhausted, being exhausted physically, it's nothing to compare when you are tired emotionally, when you struggle emotionally, and like inside of you with something to come to the difficult decisions you have to make. You have to have a certain strength to to step forward, to step up, to do something what maybe will be painful at that time. And now I analyzing that difficult time when I graduated with one college, and happy to enjoy my learning now in Moscow, and I'm done. Like I can, quickly just finish that when, like I was graduating with in a music college, and what happened with me on my last exam, I met the person who was leaving to America, and who pretty much also changed my life, because I just, I fell in love. He appeared at the time of my complete physical exhaustion, like, when I was the most tired and not like disappointed in my life, like in my feeling of my in my like I'll say in my marriage. And this is what happens with us, like I think many women go through that, because we all get married for I feel like for a wrong reason. um, like I got married very young, because the idea in Russia, that's our like our culture that time was, if you're not married by 20, something wrong with you. So you're not a marriage material then, because you graduate from college like when you are 23, like 23, then where are you going to meet your person? And that mentality was sitting in our head, like, you got to belong to someone. If you're not married, then you are not acceptable person in a community. So you are, you are not invited to that, like, to the life. So you live your life as a very separate, like different person. So that's why, like, I've got married to the best on the market, I'll say, like this person who was a very good person. And my first husband, I still respect him a lot. And uh, I mean, handsome, educated, politician at that time when it was, in a Russian Communist Party, when it was like, politician, the person who is leading the city. So obviously I was married, and I thought I was happily married. But I realized also missing some uh, like a connection, some closeness with that person. And so what happened with me at that time, when I feel great about my career, I'm a great teacher, I'm changing boarding school kids with no parents, I'm changing their life. I got the master's degree in pedagogics. I know how to change, not like teach the kids, but at that time I also was teaching in like correspondence course for the continued education for the music teachers. So I was very well known person in my own town, but I didn't feel that happiness in my marriage. And it's something what you don't talk, you don't tell anybody. It's like everyone looks from a side that, oh, she's very happy, she has such a handsome husband, oh, he's a big person in the city, they drive this car, and so it's all from outside. It was not something what I was satisfied inside. And here at the last day of my exam in Moscow, here's someone who was my, later on, 2 years later, someone appears who, when I'm mostly tired and dragging some stuff, if someone remembers that time in 90s in Russia when there was nothing in the stores, everything was only in Moscow stores, and we were buying like crazy the stuff there and bringing that to our small cities. So I'm all exhausted after exam and all those lines and dragging stuff, and here appears a handsome guy who is like, oh my god, lady, how you're dragging these heavy purses. So he simply helps me to bring my heavy uh, heavy bags, like overloaded bags, to my room, and he's helping me to bring this. And you know how it, the lady can understand me, all the ladies can understand how it happens in life. You just look and you just know that him, it's like one side look even, and you just know that someone who just struck you, so that's chemistry happened. That's why I believe in that marriages happen in angels fall in love first, our angels, and then you can't understand why you love that person. That he's even not a nice person, but you still love him, and you struggle with yourself, like and like trying to explain and finding you always find excuse to why you are with that person. So but that's just like again going away from the subject. But here I fall in love with the person who is leaving to America, and I know him just 3 days and he's gone. So he's in America, and here I am in Russia, graduated and struggling with my happiness in marriage. I say happiness in my relationship, trying to understand what's really bothering me, and why I am not like a happy person, even I have everything what should be, so what everybody probably dreamed about. So at that time, like I remember that big difficult decision I made to divorce, uh, because like if you remember that uh, happened in Ukraine, uh, what it was called, like Chernobyl, yeah. Chernobyl happened, and the area where my mother-in-law lived was very close to Chernobyl, and everybody from her village were forced to move out. So the whole village was forced to move out from there due to radiation in the area. But obviously, my mother-in-law was a strong-willed, so she refused. So she stayed at her village, and she also kept all the animals home, like, so like cows, pigs, the garden, the field of the vegetables, and also her job in medical office. So as a as a cleaning lady in medical office. So everything. So she kept all that, and one day she's got sick and was placed in a hospital. So her husband stayed in alone, and my father-in-law was wounded in during the Second War. So he was with amputated leg in order to live. So uh, he had one leg, so he was all the time in crutches, and he couldn't take care of himself, and obviously the home like the household. So my mother-in-law is in the hospital, and I have to go and help my father-in-law. And when I went to and just so imagine like my life, I'm a city born girl. I saw the chickens, I saw the pigs. I never was around them though. I like animals, but I don't know how to take care of them. So, and here I am in with my brother, with my father-in-law, learning how to milk the cow, learning how to mix the food for the pigs, and how to pick the bugs from the potato leaves, so, and how to pull the weeds, and also, like, clean the house. This is the interesting thing. the the floor I was supposed to wash at my mother-in-law house had no paint on it, so it's a wood floor, and no paint, no stain, like, so these times we do. So it's just like a white wood. So when you wash, wow, that was the struggle to wash the floor. So you scrub that floor with the knife, to get the stain of some, like, so dirt from it. And then you wash it again. And so then, like, so it needs to be washed a couple times, and on your knees. So there's no mop will take that floor. So here I am in that village, staying with my father-in-law and my husband who married me because he loved me so much, and he was saying he loved me so much, and he promised to make my life as happy as it can be, as just like if I only marry him and I stay with him. So, and that's what I did. And so he's staying in a city due to his job, saying, okay, like, Margarita, thank you for staying with my dad. I'm going to visit you on the weekends. So I'm there in a village which is like almost empty, couple families staying there, but there's like many scientists and from St. Petersburg and from Moscow studying the soil in the area and studying everything, like, in the area, because that's all with the radiation, and they are finding even the radium or some, in the soil itself. So, in the area, so it's poison. And here I am coming to the medical office where everybody's, socializing and having the meetings. And those people, like young people, a lot of young medical field people, asking me, Margarita, what are you doing? What are you doing here in this poison area? You better run away as soon as you can, because that's completely poisoning your health. And I was so ashamed to say that, my mother-in-law got stubborn and I'm here. So I just, no, I'm staying with my dad here. So I can't leave my dad. And that was just my answer. And here I am staying the first weeks. My husband is not coming due to his job. Then the second week, he has the big meetings to run, and so he's not coming. The third week, the fourth week, the fifth week, I'm kind of like, that was the summertime, so I didn't have my job at the boarding school. So I'm thinking, okay, here my lovely husband, who was telling he loves me, and who is not, even find the time to visit me uh, at his home house where his own dad stays. And that, like, that thought started to stick in my head. Maybe he doesn't love me as like what he is saying. Even all that comfort I have in life, and actually it was, we just finished building the house. And if you know, Marina, like, in Russia, that time to have your own house, this is something, not everybody has. Most of people live on rents. Nobody has his own. You can purchase because there was no loans. So, and here we uh, finished building. We just supposed to move in, and finalize some small works on finishing, so cosmetic works in the kitchen and some, like, some rooms. And here I am struggling with myself, emotionally feeling not happy, feeling not satisfied, and feeling especially like, having maybe that chemistry faded already, and don't want to have that great intimacy what's supposed to be in a good families. And this is what I'm measuring on one side. And on the other side, I have my invitation to America, to the person who also struggling in America, because my second half, he became my second husband, that person who I met, so at the last day of my exam in Moscow. So he was sending me the letters how he's struggling and working in construction, and kind like, telling that I will save his life if I come to America, and will stay with him because he is so miserable there. And that's like, I remember that measuring on both what I have a big comfort here, and I have someone who says he loves me so much, and I have someone who is so struggling. And actually, I know I fell in love. So with with that person, and I'm like, what is better to have to leave all this great comfort zone and to go to nowhere, to go to no like, first of all, nowhere, like somewhere what you don't know how, what is that there, then also go to the person who you don't know, it's just your great imagination, maybe making that person, you know how ladies, like women will understand me, we make that image of the prince, someone who's gonna save you and bring you everything, and then we just work toward this, and what benefits mostly men, probably not else. So, and I am thinking about that decision. So, and after all, and so what am I deciding? I'm just divorcing after, after that, my experience in like being in Chernobyl area, and also checking, like after that, like when I didn't feel good, so, and when I went to check, and then I have a diagnosis of the like bad thyroid, some my test came so horrible, so that's other thing like makes me okay, here I am now, physically getting worse, like I mean, and weak, and maybe sick. So that was my last drop, like in a bucket to just decide, so I think it's time to just break my marriage. And feeling guilty that because my first husband, he just didn't understand, like why, like I'm not the one who was like, I was cheating or something, or having affair on a side for like a long period of time or what, and then here I am coming, no, so I'm just divorcing because this is doesn't feel right to me in my emotional state. So I divorced with knowing nothing about my future. I didn't know if I will be able to go, to America, if I will be able to be accepted there, even, or even to get visa. Like I I already shared that story, how I've got the visa to America, which was a miracle too. So when at that time, like nobody could get like invitation, you can get the invitation, but the embassy never would, let you to go. And here I am going to embassy, and once again feeling, no, okay, if I'm not allowed to go to visit my friend, maybe that's okay. At least I tried. I made my steps, but if it's not, it's not. So I was not feeling that it's the end of the world. And then it will be something horrible than if I don't get it. So that peace of mind of being myself and being, yeah, it's just like another step which will let me understand that I tried, because I always believe in like it's better to feel sorry for what you did instead of feeling sorry that you never tried that. So so you do that, yeah, you made a mistake, but at least you tried. So with this feeling, when I came in front of embassy, what are those people, I forgot how they're called, that's what those people who give you visa, whoever they are, yeah, so they the that person, asking me, okay, so what's the reason you're visiting America? And I'm saying, I'm curious. Obviously, I've never been in America. Then I do have the time because I work in boarding school, but right now it's summer. I still have time before the school year starts. And also, like, so I'm a curious person. I love to learn. I would like to learn the culture. I would like to see how is that in America. So, and so the guy is asking me why you're going with your son. And here I'm joking, trying to be funny, saying, no, my family members saying, you go with the son, so you don't party around, so you will be with your child, like taking care of your child instead of partying, because life in America probably very exciting. And so the guy smiled and said, oh, you know what, your family is so wrong. I never would let you go to America with your son. But I'm giving you a visa and permission to go. And just so you know, you're the first person who's got the visa in 3 minutes, because my conversation very quick. I'm like, oh wow. So okay, so all the nasty looks at me because people were trying so hard to get visa, and here I am, just just being curious. And now I understand. I think that my energy level, my pleasant energy, my I don't know what, but just people like me when I was young. So I think they
And now you are getting younger.
so I have to get in that state, and I think I am in that state too. So I'm all the time forget how old I am. I always think I'm like close to 30 somewhere. So I'm soon gonna be 30. So and that's like confusing everybody around probably too. So and myself, but that's how like I've got the visa, and in 3 days I landed in New York. Like right now, like I'm thinking, how crazy was that? But it was right. Sometimes you need see. I was filing divorce with feeling like leaving my comfort zone to go nowhere, but being honest with myself that I am not in love with that person. So why to lie? And especially understanding that that person says he loves me, maybe he's also in a comfort zone because I'm the best on the market also. Like, two people like the best. So this is the challenge in like in life, I think, for me always, because I think I'm being chosen because there is nobody better, but it's not because they love me. It's just because it's like too good. I'm too good. That's what my first husband was explaining to me, that, oh, I love you just because you are so, you are very beautiful, you are healthy physically, you are smart, you are successful. And that was like making me, okay, so he loves me because he puts the marks on like this, that's the check mark on, but not because he loves me, because he can't stay without me. And I always look for the that true feeling, what when you love the person not because he is this and that, just because you love him. And that's how I was explaining my chemistry to my second husband. I felt I just love him. Like that will be a next subject maybe one day, because that's wrong. That's also very wrong. Like to feel only just like this, but to seek for the true feelings, it's a challenge. And that's a challenge for everybody, probably, to find your true love, to struggle to become strong. Yeah, in not just in the physical, struggle to become strong physically, but the most challenging struggle are to become strong emotionally, to become stable emotionally, and be in a good balance with yourself, and be happy with yourself. That's what the most challenging in life. And I went through those steps, feeling like, not like, explain, like, help me with this, feeling that uncertainty of what's gonna be next, but still do it. It's pretty much like, I think it's the feeling like, you have to amputate your, sometimes, like, your diseased part, so the whole body will survive. So I feel like my that decision at my life, what I did, and even, I lost that comfort what I had. I mean, financial and physical, and like all social comfort. I never felt like that comfortable yet. I still working on that to make myself to feel comfortable with myself and with the surrounding, but that takes guts to do, so that you have to be really strong. You have to have a certain strength in, in yourself, to make those steps, to get this, to make a next step in your life. And I just have to, thank you, God, to make all these situations in my life. What sent me, I had my wonderful first husband. I truly say, like, he probably has the great family, and so good for everybody, but not for me was. And even I thank my second husband, who was not so good to me, because there's a different, different view on his emotionals. Like, I mean, he was a very difficult person, but I still thank him for giving me those lessons in life, and making me even stronger in, achieving my goals. And I think that marriage was the certain very serious step and the period of my life to make myself, more stronger. So I love my struggle, and and I think everybody should appreciate the struggles they have in life to become better. And that's what so I'm ready to continue and create some more, not as a disappointing struggles, but some good steps in my life to my personal growth. So
I think, Rita, listening to your story, I realize how much courage you have to display um, at every single stage of personal, when you achieve more personal growth, because you had to gather the courage to stand up for yourself, um, in front of yourself. So you had to decide what are your true feelings, and you had to go with the true feelings regardless the consequences. So you had to speak up to yourself first, and that's the biggest challenge humans are experiencing, when they have to be true to themselves. And then you also had to gather the courage to sit down and listen to what you want, to what is your dream, to where you are going. Even you had no idea where you were going, you realize that must be more to life. You should not settle for anything less than you deserve. And that's remarkable because, as you said, there is no losing in life. It's only winning and learning. And you are keep learning till you win. And this is where your strength is coming from the power of learning without blaming anyone, taking responsibility for what happened, for the circumstances, for the outcome, and having the courage to envisage what's next, to reinvent yourself, to create that vision first in your mind, and then to translate that, bring that into reality. Because, like, my good friend who lives in Ireland, and she's an author, she's a mind coach, used to say, life, Daniel Serpico, you should look into her books actually, because she's an amazing, amazing person and an extraordinary coach. She says that everything happens twice. First in your mind, and once happens in your mind, it's happening in reality. So it's your attitude, Rita, that um, made the big difference in your struggles in acquiring the strength you are displaying right now. And changing is a process. Changing from you are a child and your shoes are size 2 to when you are a teenager and your shoes are perhaps size 5. And later on in life, when you are an adult and you have your own children and you are looking at their shoe size and thinking, when all this happened? But at least when you look into the rear mirror, you can see that you done everything to create a better life for the people you love, to reinvent yourself at all costs. And that's something which not many of us have the courage to do. But I would say one thing, that when Winston Churchill said, never, never, never give up, I think he meant you. I'm very, very grateful for sharing your story, which is very, um, very profound, but it's so true, so real, that it's impossible not to inspire other people to be more. I'm really, really grateful for sharing your story, Rita. And until next time, when we are going to hear more, and you are going to tell us about what's next and exciting in your life, is goodbye from us. From Rita Golubova, the award-winning author of The Piano Teacher, My Journey into the American Dream, and Marina Nani, is goodbye. Thank you, Rita.
Thank you so much. And at the end, just I would like to give like couple feel good menus to the listeners. What I do for myself to feel good, every day. So, and once again, it's the most like smile and listen to the music and think of tropical islands and sing and dance and so just do some good things to yourself first. and then you will have the strength to help others.
Very grateful, Rita. Thank you.